afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here and watching us on TV to the February meeting of the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Commission. And as our custom is, we'd like to start off the meeting with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to ask Dr. Gloria Bonner if she'll do that for us.
Thank you so much. Before we begin prayer, I'd like to ask for a special prayer to Superintendent Jernell Jenkins and the members of the Patterson Park Community Center family in the recent loss of one of the employees, Mr. Franklin Smith. And we extend prayer to you all as well as to his family. May we pray. Father, thank you that everything good comes from you. We are grateful for the amazing God that you are in our lives, for all that you do and the difference you make in our life and the life of this community. We give you all the praise. Bless this meeting to your will and to your service. In your Son's name we pray. Amen. And we now stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner.
You're welcome.
Our first item of new business today, Susan Hicks is going to make some, no, before I do that, I forget sometimes. I'm going to let you guys look at the minutes from our last meeting, and once you look at those, I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes. Any changes or questions?
I move that we accept them as written.
Have a motion and a second. And Mitzi, you'll call roll, please, ma'am.
Dr. Bonner,
Aye.
Mr. Cunningham,
Aye.
Dr. Duke,
Aye.
Mr. Miller,
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery,
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet,
Aye.
Mr. Seiler,
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, if we could, we need to do the opening it up for public comments on any voting items. We didn't have that specified. Nobody signed up, but we do need to provide the opportunity for anybody to speak on anything that's we're voting on.
You are correct, sir. So, and there's no one here that wants to address us today? Okay. Thank you for that reminder. So now, how about you, Susan?
Good afternoon. Today I want to acknowledge the band that won the Grand Champion Award for the Christmas Parade. A few years ago we started this to acknowledge the importance of our bands, our local high school bands, as they participate in the Christmas Parade. It wouldn't be the same without them. They come out on cold days, wait for at least a few hours before they get in line, and then walk a little over a mile in the parade while playing their instruments. It's a huge accomplishment, and we have a group of judges now that judge them, and the best one gets an award every year. This year, I'd like to acknowledge that Rockville High School received the award. They did a fantastic job, and we are very honored and proud that they participated and did such a great job this year.
I'd like to say that I was so proud to see all the bands, but especially Rockville. stand coming down through there, they look so good. My mother was a graduate and basketball player for the Rockville Rockets back in the day.
Still on the Christmas parade. This year, Dr. Gloria Bonner graciously accepted the title of Grand Marshal of our 2023 Christmas Parade, and we have an award to acknowledge her and her coming out there in the cold and bitterly cold and helping us.
Our favorite Grand Marshal ever. Okay, let's see, next item. So Susan, you're still up.
Yes. We would like to raise the fees of the Perform Murfreesboro membership, or for each play. We raised it last year to $25 for each play, and we realized the things we were buying for them were more than $25. So we want to be fiscally responsible and make sure we come out even with that. We are asking now that you approve a $50 fee for each play that the child is in. This is a raise, but it'll help us with the t-shirt cost. They get a gift, they get a cast party, and those fees have just gone up with inflation. The t-shirts have gone from $16 to $26 this year, and it's just trying to keep up with that. Other local venues are charging $250 for kids to participate in each play, so we're still very under that bar. And as always, we will offer a free or discounted rate if they cannot afford to participate. No child is ever turned away from the cultural arts programming.
Very good, Susan. Any questions for Susan regarding this rate fee change?
I just want to clarify, the goal is not to make a profit. The goal with
Right.
this rate is just to break even.
It's just a break even.
Thank you.
Thank you for providing the financial assistance for the children who need that opportunity.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate that.
Susan, can you elaborate just a little bit on how much of the participation would be financial assistance over maybe the course of the year?
We have about a 5 to 6% that is financially assisted in our theater program every year, that whether they meet the free and reduced lunch program that the Parks and Rec provides when they register, or whether there's just a large family that can't afford all of their children to participate, we just waive those fees for them as well.
Susan, how many shows do you have on average every year?
We do 4 to 5 shows every year, with the numbers in our performances being between 45 and 78 children. So, you know, when you're talking about T-shirts for 78 kids, it kind of gets a little pricey.
Well, good work. Any other questions for Susan? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve this fee increase.
I move approval.
Second.
I have a first and second. Mitzi, will you call roll, please?
Dr. Bonner,
Aye.
Mr. Cunningham,
Aye.
Dr. Duke,
Aye.
Mr. Miller,
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery,
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet,
Aye.
Mr. Siler,
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you.
For all your good work. Y'all get out of the way. Here comes Chad Hill. Hello, Chad.
Hello, how are we doing today?
We're good.
All right. I'm proposing to host a powerlifting competition at Patterson Park Community Center Most powerlifting competitions consist of 3 lifts, a squat, bench, deadlift. However, we're going to break them up into separate events. So our first one we want to have is a bench press competition. We're going to want to charge a fee of $20 that'll cover the cost of the t-shirts and the awards that we present to the overall winners. And we're planning on having the deadlift and squat portions of this event later on in the year. But we just want to put it under the umbrella of powerlifting competition because this is 3 power lifts.
Yeah, great. And you stagger the dates so nobody's too tired or something to go to the next event.
In a normal powerlifting competition, you do all 3 lifts in one day. But this way, we're just going to host a bench press competition on one day, deadlift competition on another day, and then a deadlift at a later time.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions for Chad on this new event? If none, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve.
So approval. Thank
Have a
you.
motion and a second. Mitzi, will you call roll?
Dr. Bonner?
Aye.
Mr. Cunningham?
Aye.
Dr. Duke?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery?
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Seiler?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Thank you, Chad. Be careful on the way in here. Charlie Montgomery said that after the meeting, he's headed to the rec center. And so I think he's trying to get a head start on everybody. Okay. Next item, Nate, you're going to discuss our holiday calendar for this year, this coming year.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is something that we just need approval for. This is our facility calendar. This is based on city hours. Our facilities stay open more than when other facilities like City Hall might be closed. But this doesn't change really anything. It's the same model that we've used for several years now. But we do need to get this in front of you for approval for the 2024 calendar year.
Don't see any new holidays. Wish there were. Any questions for Nate on this holiday schedule?
If I could just say, when we talk about our calendar, something we talk about in our leadership team with our superintendents and our facility supervisors, we go through these schedules and go back and forth, and it's a nonstop effort to make sure we're closing when we need to. Our staff continually wants to keep open as much as we can, and we're thankful to have staff who have a desire to make our facilities as accessible when other people are off so they can enjoy their time at the facilities.
Very good. Do I have a motion and a second that we approve this calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Mitzi, will you call roll, please, ma'am?
Dr. Bonner?
Aye.
Mr. Cunningham?
Aye.
Dr. Duke?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery?
Aye.
Mr. Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Seiler?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mitzi. Okay, Nate, you're still up with our facility surveys.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to bring this as an update item of something we've been working on since July of 2023. If you go into any of our facilities, you'll see something similar to this. This is a sign that says in multiple places within the facility. So it says, "Your opinion matters. Can you take a 30-second survey for us?" So we wanted to get an effective way to listen to our patrons, our visitors who are using our facilities, and we came up with this. And it's a simple survey that we derive a lot of good data from. It's the questions are: was this facility clean? Was it fun? And then was it clean? So clean, safe, and fun is what we're looking for. So then it provides an opportunity for them to provide comments as needed. So we've gotten a lot of responses. We've provided all of that to you. Just like anything, you'll get some information that you might not be looking for, but it's still valuable nonetheless. So when those surveys come in, it goes to myself and then Thomas or Rachel, depending on which area it is, and then the superintendent of that facility. So this is just the raw data we wanted to provide for you. It's something we use as a tool. We're happy to have it. We've got all of our superintendents here represented. In case you have any questions about what you're seeing or how we're using that data, to ask questions. But we just wanted to provide that to you just so we can, make sure we keep you in the loop with what people are saying. So Was it clean? Was it safe? And did you have fun?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's an awesome tool to have, and getting the comments, constructive ones, and some that are suggestions too. So, and I feel like, as you mentioned, you're going over with your department heads, you know, and their staff, each and every one of them, and addressing those issues.
Yes, sir. We take those, we look and follow up as needed. If people put, you know, information where they would like a follow-up or just suggestions, we'll take that. And I think it's been a beneficial tool. But if you have any questions about anything related to our facilities operations based on this, like I said, I can answer that question, or our superintendents are here and glad to talk about what's
Are
going on.
most of them anonymous, or do people actually leave their name sometimes?
Rarely do people leave a name.
Okay.
We've had it where a couple of times where they intentionally put it in the comments. We left it where it could be anonymous. We didn't want it to where people felt like they had to.
Yeah.
If there's maybe an opportunity for us that they want to point out. So, yeah.
And then the ones where names are left, are you trying to get back with
Yeah.
those people and letting them know what
If
the
there's a
response?
follow-up requested, we'll
Very
absolutely
good.
follow up.
Very good.
But it's just something we wanted to keep you updated and see. Just like I said, it's the raw data. You can see the comments on it. But I think if you look through everything, it's pretty positive about what's going on. And we're always looking for opportunities to get better. And I think this has been a great avenue to hear that from our customers who use our facilities.
Obviously.
Could I ask a question? Is this on the website where people could respond?
It is. This is used through our website, so you can go to murfreesboroparks.com. We'll double check that. I think that facility survey is there. Right now, most of it comes through these signs that have a QR code, but let me say I think that it's there, but we'll follow up with our marketing team and make sure that's available on the
Thought is,
website.
on some of these like ball fields and stuff like that, there's not really a location where they could see the sign
Yeah.
and react to it. So if someone could just be, you know, if you want to make a comment or you have something, because, you know, if there's not a location like a check-in or check-out desk.
If you're at Siegel Soccer Complex and you're over 100 acres and it's signed, so we'll make sure we get that obvious. I think, like I said, we really value what's coming in.
Yeah.
You know, we saw a statistic a couple days ago that just at the Siegel Soccer Complex, not including the Jordan Farm practice fields, we had 817,000 people come through.
Oh.
And that's real data based on a new technology that we're working on potentially using. But we want to make sure we're capturing as much as we can.
And on those, like when we have an event or a tournament or something like that, do we direct to whoever booked it, or, you know, to give us a response as to how you enjoyed the facility or something like
Yeah,
that?
typically we have a pretty close working relationship when it comes to a tournament. So our staff are continuously involved with booking, continuing the communication within their event and then following up. So this isn't really designed for that. We really just want kind of just a view of the facility and, you know, what we stand with our values and how we expect our facilities to come across. But it's something we can provide.
I can think sometimes these responses, you know, you got to kind of check through them and see what the comments are, but it can certainly be valuable. And there were so many places that didn't get any response or had not gotten something from the survey. I thought there might be some attempt or opportunity to look for other ways to get that survey to people.
We'll make sure we look at every opportunity to get it out there, especially on our website, murfreesboroparks.com. We can make it readily available.
Nate, what is the general policy on responding to some of these facility maintenance issues? I saw here we had a pool that had some debris in it, and we had a leak in the gym. We had some mold on a pipe. How do you handle that? What's the procedure for that?
So we'll follow up. Typically, it's done when it comes to one of those facilities. Thomas or Rachel will follow up with the superintendent. And a lot of the stuff we know about. You know, I think the couple, I'm not defending anything in the survey. We're aware of some of the issues that comes with the ductwork at Patterson Park, and we're actively working to bid out that project to replace all that with sock duct. So a lot of those types of leaks and stuff, we're aware of those. We're working to alleviate those issues. So.
Something we see frequently is the indoor pool sports com. There appears to be dirt at the bottom of the floor of the pool, and actually it's the surfacing of the pool itself that's just worn. We do have that built into the budget and plan to resurface that as soon as the outdoor pool opens so we can minimize intrusion. But some of those areas are being addressed through our budget.
To answer your question better, if we weren't aware of something, if somebody points out, we'll absolutely take a look at it and see if a different set of eyes were on it that we weren't keen to.
Are we having difficulty getting things done in a timely manner?
I wouldn't say any time or manner. It's an interesting, projects right now, when it comes to design services and things like that. I think the Patterson ductwork project is a great example. You have to hire an architect to come in, bring in a mechanical engineer, and it's tough to get some of those specs done in a timely manner. We've got the money ready to go. We're not having issues. It's just kind of the market right now when it comes to construction projects. But we have support of our administration and our council to take care of everything we need. We're going to be resurfacing the pool deck at Patterson, the indoor pool deck. Very soon, we just issued that contract. We're also resurfacing the pool shell at Sportscom on the outdoor pool. Really, that contract is out as well. So a lot of these things are in the works that we know need to be done.
So procedurally on that, because things are not going to be observed on Tuesday and fixed on Wednesday, we understand that. But is it procedurally, is there a mechanism in place where, as an example, you would read something on here that needs to be fixed, you advise the superintendent, I would assume, of what the game plan is with automatic follow-up so somebody knows what's going on, and then instruct the superintendents to let the desk know, so that the public has some idea that something that, one, you're aware of it, and two, even if they don't like the answer, there is an awareness and a plan in place.
Right.
'Cause I think that's where the frustration might come in for something that takes a long time to fix.
Yep.
Somebody complains about it, and I don't know, 6 months ago, and it's not fixed, and they're thinking, well, they're just ignoring me.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're ignoring them, but it appears that way if there's no mechanism with a closed loop on that to let folks know what's going on.
Some of the bigger projects, we do our best to make sure we keep our point-of-sale staff informed of where we stand in a project so they can answer those questions. I would give a hypothetical. If there's a water leak at the senior center, to our superintendent's credit, all of them, I don't have to get involved with that. They'll see that comment, they'll look into it, and they'll fix that, immediately. So they take care of that, and look into it at least within, the day and see what's going on. So they're on top of that, and they communicate with their front desk staff about it and make sure we communicate to the public as best as we can.
Is it direct, the whole process is directly linked through the operations of that facility. So once those surveys come to me or Rachel, we send that directly to superintendent and may include any of the operations staff that would be a part of that remedy or fix.
Okay. The other thing that's loud and clear in these comments is the push and tug with tennis and pickleball. Talk a little bit about that, just so that I know what's going on in case somebody ever asks me about it.
Sure. Councilman Wright might want to. No, I'm just joking. Yes, so there's a need for more pickleball courts, community pickleball courts in Murfreesboro. We're going to be addressing that need. We're completing the design for the renovation of the original 8 courts at Old Fort Park. That's going to take away 2 tennis courts and add in 6 pickleball courts. So there'll be designated use for that. So a couple of the comments regarding pickleball at Patterson. We've got a contract completed that hasn't been executed just yet for resurfacing at Patterson Park. We need to resurface that. So that contract came through this morning, and then we're trying to get that one completed. So the balance of finding both is something that we're constantly working toward and making sure. I can say definitively we do need more community pickleball courts. We need to maximize the best we can our tennis courts as well, and there's still a great demand for tennis as well. So when considering the design for that, we think that will still allow enough courts for tennis, specifically at Old Fort, to fulfill all of our tournament needs and then daily needs at that facility just for community use as well.
What's in round numbers, pickleball players and tennis players?
I don't think it'd be hard to put that's kind of comparing apples and oranges. You put 4 people on a pickleball court pretty much every single time. And a lot of times it's one-on-one versus tennis. So before I threw anything out, I'd want to make sure I do some more research. But I can say just from a simple view, if you go to Patterson Park right now, and Janelle might be able to corroborate this, there's probably 20-something people actively playing, and then we've probably got 15 people waiting to get on a court to play pickleball right now. Okay, thank you. So
In terms
that-
of our population here in Murfreesboro, and pickleball has a group or a club that they work through, and their numbers somewhat reflect those memberships at the Adams Tennis Complex. It's a very close comparison when you're talking about the number of pickleball players versus tennis players. When we say those that are, serious enough players that they get involved with a group or a community, both sides of that community is about 1,700 to 1,800 participants. So if you have a major tennis tournament, you're going to draw similar as versus pickleball. I think the difference and the conflicts come in the style of play and how pickleball is played versus tennis. Tennis is more of an individual or team doubles type event, whereas pickleball, several people might play each other throughout one session. So whereas 6 people change in and out on a pickleball court for various matches, in tennis typically it's 2 to 4 people that are utilizing that space. So pickleball is more of a community type activity, which doesn't require as many courts, but it does require that community space.
I'm pleased with the design right now that we have at Old Fort Park. So it's being designed where there's going to be a hitting wall in between tennis and pickleball. So both sides will be able to use that hitting wall in practice. We do have a very vibrant tennis community. Murfreesboro is really a destination for tennis as well. So we want to make sure we're serving the best needs as we can. Adams Tennis Complex does a great job in serving those needs. We will have some more outdoor courts freed up with MTSU's new courts coming on board. Their teams won't be using the outdoor courts, which we've been letting them use some intermittently. So they have a beautiful new facility. So we're going to do our best, but I think most importantly, we will continue to monitor, just like we do any type of amenity need. We'll look at there and see what's going on, what trends are happening, and see where we might need to potentially add more spaces for people.
Are you, when these complaints come to you, and obviously it's very, very challenging to make everybody happy, but when these complaints and comments are coming to you, are you having conversations with these folks and telling them what your thought process is and your plans? And I mean, maybe they don't like it, but you're giving them some feedback on their complaints and so forth?
Honesty is key, and in making sure we're getting the truth out there about what's actually happening. A lot of time that's our focus. So there is now a tennis and pickleball commission that meets once a month. So we'll have in a couple weeks, have our next meeting with that commission. So that commission was established by the mayor to specifically look into this issue. So we meet monthly. That's why you don't see operational things or, proposals coming necessarily from Adams Tennis Complex anymore, because those go to that commission at this point.
And there still seems to be, and I guess you just addressed it with your last comment about MTSU, but still a little push and pull between leagues and schools and using tennis courts versus John Q. Citizen that walks up and wants court times. There's still a little bit of a challenge there as well.
I'll say every amenity that we have to find balance, be it a ball field, a soccer field, a tennis court, everything we have to find the balance. MTSU's been a great partner of ours for a long time. I think we've been able to fulfill their needs. We've also worked with the county school system for some time too, and make sure we can host their middle school and high school teams during their leagues. So I think we found our balance. When it comes to specifically tennis, there's always, more is better in everything, but we just can't build more of everything right now. So we're looking as we continue to develop, but I feel like our balance right now is pretty good.
And that commission that you talked about that meets once a month, tennis and pickleball, how many people are on that?
Mitzi, do you remember how many? I think we got 7.
Seven.
Councilman Wright serves on that commission as a representative of council, but Mitzi should be able to pull it up.
9.
9.
Okay.
Dr. Bonner serves on that commission as an ex officio member of
There's
Parks
the
and
problem
Recreation.
right there.
I can't decide whether I want to stay with tennis or
Jump to pickleball. Play the middle.
This is something I'm always thankful for when it comes to anything that we have. And anytime people are passionate about something that might come off as frustrated, I'll tell them at the end of the conversation, I'm just thankful that we have facilities within the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department that people are passionate about. That's a true symbolism of our community and what we have to offer. So we got facilities that people are passionate about. We want to make sure we're listening to everybody as much as we can.
Well, the thing is, and again, you're not ever going to be in a situation where you can make everybody happy. That's just not going to happen. But I think everybody is deserving of a response to when they're bringing up issues and explanations, again, that they might not agree with. But an explanation is, yes, we hear you, we understand, this is our game plan, and you know, keep that door open on things. Because when I'm speaking with people, you know, it's oftentimes nobody's listening to me. They're not doing anything about it, and I know that that's not always true. But as long as we've got a mechanism in place to address those issues with a response, again, they might not like the response, but that there is a response, there is a game plan going on, and you know, I think that's what's critical. And if we've got that mechanism in place and are practicing that, you know, preaching what we're going to do, and then, you know, and following up with the practice on it, I think that's a good thing.
I think the Tennis and Pickleball Commission does a good job of setting expectations and letting everybody know from both communities what the direction is.
Dee Jernigan is the chairperson of that commission, and Dee, of course, you know, served this commission for 30 years as the chairperson. So, you know, I think Councilman Wright can attest that it's been a great avenue of just discussion and getting things out publicly, just facts that are happening. Like you said, we want to make sure we're putting out clear and concise and factual information and addressing anything that might be concerns that might not be actual truth.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you.
Great discussion. Thank you, Nate, Mr. Cunningham, Councilman Shacklett. Good comments. Okay, the next item on the agenda, Nate, you're going to give us a little year-end financial report.
Well, this is our mid-year financial report. This goes July through December, so it's our 6-month fiscal year.
Okay.
So we're doing well across the board. Expenditures are where we expect them to be. Our revenues, I think we've hit about 57% of our revenues across the board. We're up in some areas and down in some areas. Our leadership team has been tasked with the areas where we might be seeing a little bit of a gap to come up with new ways to maybe make that gap. But our performance, if this is an indicator, should be you know, even better than last year. So we'll continue to work hard, but wanted to, every time we get together, just show you our numbers and show you how our performance looks at this point in time. And then I'll just say this is too, now is when we really move into our major revenue producing season. You know, as we move into February with youth basketball. Thomas, how many people were registered for youth basketball this year?
It brought at 1,400.
So 1,400 kids registered for youth basketball across the city. Dr. Duke, we couldn't do it without using city schools facilities.
We had a hitter last night. They were practicing away.
Yeah. I know my 11-year-old, we're at Case and Lane Academy twice a week. So you're gracious host, and we appreciate that. We couldn't do it without you. What I was saying, though, this is our revenue producing season. We're leading into where people are signing up for camps, people are signing up for leagues, that type of stuff. So we'll see our next report be, I think, impressive.
Very good. Very good. Any questions for Nate?
I would like to say how much I appreciate the job that we do as a community in responding to the athletic demands. And it's not just the students as athletes. They gain a lot of lifelong skills as a result of participating in athletics here, and the leadership with the coaches and their families, and all of the support that we provide for them is lifelong. So I greatly appreciate that. My daughter was a recipient of that.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner. I think we all, you know, I'll be at John Pittard Friday night, you know, and then we're always at the soccer complex with grandchildren, and we're here and there, and it's a busy time, and we're very grateful to be able to have these facilities and this staff to take care of our youth. So it's an awesome job.
Nate, could I ask you, I saw you on TV. Could you give us an update on the skateboard facility?
I can. I was going to see if I can jump in with just a few comments on updates. If I can, I'll do it now, Mr. Chairman. But we have our skate park. We just broke ground It's over 12,000 square feet, skate park and pump track at Old Fort Park, where pavilions 1 and 2 used to be. We're excited. Unique thing about this project, and it's something I brag on all the time, a lot of other communities don't have, we were able to save probably, I would speculate, about $80,000 on this project because our public works team and our street department are doing all of the grading work for this project. So Executive Director Hillis and his team have been out there in the past week, and they almost had that grading work done, so then we turn it over to the contractor. But it's easy to say, I think we've saved almost $80,000 on that. So May 3rd is the expected date of completion. As to any construction project that might be delayed with rain as we get into the rainy season, but that's the last we've heard. And we're really excited about that. It's going to be a great amenity for the park. The Veterans Park project is coming along. We've entered into an agreement, which is construction design for that park off of Veterans Parkway. So now we're in the phase we're actually coming up with the final construction set of plans, probably 9 months in that process. We need to keep council updated as we go about the cost. We're going to do cost estimates pretty much every month and just see where we think things are to make sure we're managing expectations and budgets. So it's another one that we're very excited about. I think the council's excited about seeing something happening out there soon. And then at Old Fort Park, I said something about our tennis court renovation, which is the final design is being done right now. We're meeting this afternoon to see exactly how it's going to look when it's done. And then we're doing the same thing with the original ball field design as we speak. So those will be going out to bid very soon as well. And then a whole host of other projects going on, but there's just a few.
Well, I know we're very early in the game with the Veterans Park project. When is it, if everything goes according to Hoyle, which it never does, but when is it going to be operational?
I think, I don't want to not answer your question, Mr. Cunningham, but I can't give a great response to that just until we get a little bit further down in the design. I think we've got to get probably a few more months into the design and see where they stand. And they tell us, based on that, the timeline on when we think we can get done. But once that design is complete, based on the amenities, if we're within budget, it's going to be probably a year to a year and a half construction time period.
Okay.
All good news. Mr. Don Turner, you want to give us a little report with the Golf Commission?
The renovation at Old Fort is underway. I thought we would probably wait until spring and shut down the course completely and do the work, but the contractors wanted to do the bunkers first. And I understand that because most of the bunkers are close to the greens and they didn't want to be in each other's way. The course, the back side was shut down January the 8th. In about a week and a half to 2 weeks, they will be through with the bunkers on the back. And then they will shut down the front, do those, and then we can play the back. So if you play golf now, play 18 holes, you'll play the same side twice. So January the 8th, it's been about a month. It's taken them 5 to 6 weeks, and they had some bad weather in there. They had the snow and the really cold weather. But it'll take about the same time to do the front. The course will probably be shut down. We don't have an exact date, but it'll probably be shut down sometime in April or right at the last of April, 1st of May. And they'll do the greens. The greens are going to be a new zoysia type. If you'd like to see it, the chipping green that we have out there is zoysia, and it's puts beautifully. Doesn't leave ball marks. We're just happy that we're getting this, and just hope it works out, because a lot of people don't have this yet. Most people have gone to Bermuda. That's about it, Eddie. But the golf course, Bloomfield Links is open, the 6-hole course across the river, and I'm sure it's going to be really busy this summer with all the kids' programs and people just wanting to play golf, because it's hard to get on a golf course anywhere right now. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, sir. A lot of good work there, a lot of hard work there, so it's much appreciated and will benefit greatly by it. Thank you. Before I bring up Lynn, Thomas, how's one of our favorite, Miracle Field, how's it doing? out there?
Doing well. Registration just completed. I think we've got about 120 participants getting ready for the spring. They'll do uniform pickup and our Healthy Fair in March. And the season will start in April. So we'll bring updates and make sure you guys get the schedule so you can come out and watch.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Okay. Lynn, are you ready to let us know everything else that's going on around here? As if we need some more.
All the fun stuff, yes.
And we do need it.
Good afternoon. I went ahead and passed out to you our quarterly, quarter one event guide, just so you guys would have that. That's available at all of our facilities, and it's also available online, but it just gives everybody like the next 3 months, the different things that we have happening. And I also gave you a copy of our summer camp brochure. That's also online and available at all of our facilities. Registration for that opens up on March 1st, and in there you'll find a description of all the different camps and everything that we have going on throughout Parks and Rec. Just to catch you up on a few things that we've had happening recently. I know our Christmas parade, we kind of talked about that. That was a big success. We had a great time with that. Chad was very instrumental in our New Year's Day race, the mayor's race, that we capped that for the first time at 500 participants, and so that went really great. We've kind of talked about this already, but youth basketball is in full swing. We talked about the numbers, and that's 160 teams that we have playing basketball right now. Also, our communication, just kind of an update with our PR. I think we did a really good job of being able to work during the snowstorm and the time off and the closings. We were able to work with the community and letting them know quickly what facilities were open, what were closed, and just making sure that we stayed in good constant contact with our community. And then just a few upcoming events that we have happening. Before our next meeting, we've got Pioneer Days out at Cannonsburg. That'll be on April 27th, so mark your calendars for that. Parks and Rec also helps with Earth Day, and that's a big event for us on April 20th. And then we're also just busy planning for the TRPA conference next November, and then lots and lots of smaller events as you see in the event guide. Any questions?
Do we know when Spring Fling is this year?
May.
21st to the 24th of May. Spring Fling's always the week before Memorial Day.
21st to what?
21st through the, what'd you say?
24th,
24th.
Tuesday through Friday.
I got you.
Any other questions for Lynn? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As always, thanks to our great staff who make all this happen, and these commission members up here who help facilitate. And is there any other business to be brought up today?
I would like to make one comment. I didn't realize there was a tennis and pickleball committee, and if we could possibly have Mr. Wright give us an update during our meetings of what that committee meeting was all about, just to inform us, because I get a lot of calls about pickleball all the time. So just something for us all to be aware of, where I can answer some questions when they come across the...
Great suggestion. Yes, sir.
We can do that.
Okay. Y'all,
We can bring a report. I know Councilman Wright can. You're also welcome if you ever really want to hear. That's an open meeting that we'd love to have anybody who wants to come just attend. You can listen. I don't remember the exact date in February of it, but it's done at Adams Tennis Complex. I'll make sure I get that date to you in case you want to come, but we'll make sure we do some type of formal update to this commission.
Okay.
The next meeting is February 15th.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner.
February 15th, and it's at the Adams Tennis Complex?
Yes.
10 o'clock in the morning.
very good. No other comments? We'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.